Grand finals are won in the matchups. One-on-one, jersey against jersey. Forget the banners, forget the hype. This is where the premierships are decided. So today, we're going to go head-to-head every player from 1 through to 17. Storm versus Broncos.
Old Skool Broncos,
G'day legends, welcome back to another edition of the Old Skool Broncos Podcast, the channel where we look at the Broncos from a fan's point of view. The stage is set, the Brisbane Broncos versus the Melbourne Storm in the 2025 NRL Grand Final. Two powerhouses with very different identities. The Storm with their machine-like consistency, and the Broncos with their youthful flair and Queensland muscle. So how do the two teams actually stack up, man for man? Let's break it down, position by position, from the back to the front row, and see where the grand final could be won. All right, let's start with the fullbacks. Ryan Papenhuyzen versus Reece Walsh. Ryan Papenhuyzen is the definition of resilience. He's been through hell with injuries, shattered knees, busted ankles, the sort of setbacks that could have ended most careers. But he's battled back to get another grand final. He's cooler than people give him credit for, rarely flustered. He plays within Melbourne's system and picks his moments. His kick returns and support play make him lethal if Brisbane's line isn't tight. And let's not forget, he's already a Clive Churchill medalist. Now, Reece Walsh, almost the opposite energy. Chaos, spark, pure highlight reel material. He's the fastest player on the park. His step is untouchable, and when he hits the line at pace, defences panic. Walsh has been the face of Brisbane's revival, and he's desperate to put 2023's heartbreak behind him. The only question is whether his decision-making holds under the bright lights of a grand final. The verdict here? Walsh has the flair to break the game open, but Paps brings battle-tested, big-game steel. Moving on to the wing, Will Warbrick versus Josiah Karapani. Will Warbrick has been one of Melbourne's biggest weapons out wide. The bloke is a skyscraper, an Olympic Sevens silver medalist, and the sort of winger who finishes tries that look impossible. He's brilliant under the high ball and brings that storm winger consistency. You know exactly what you're going to get here. Karapani is Brisbane's surprise packet. Not a household name, but he's stepped into the spotlight with the energy, power, and no fear. His kick returns and yardage runs give the Broncos a lift. The unknown factor is whether he can handle the intensity of a grand final against one of the NRL's more physical wingers. The verdict? Edge to Warbrick, proven finisher, but Karapani, that underdog, nothing to lose energy, that could turn him into a cult hero. In the centres, we've got Jack Howarth versus Katoni Staggs. Howarth, also known as Johnny Utah, is still learning his craft. He's got size, he's got speed, and Bellamy clearly rates him. But this is a baptism of fire. Staggs is a monster when he gets early ball. He thrives in big games, loves the physicality, and plays with a chip on his shoulder. The key here will be consistency. Staggs has the talent to completely dominate this matchup, but he has to get involved. If he drifts in and out, Howarth could hold his edge quite well. The verdict? Staggs has the advantage in power and pedigree, but only if he plays to his ceiling. The other centres are Nick Meaney versus Gemmet Shibasaki. Nick Meaney is Bellamy's Mr. Reliable. Safe hands, good footy IQ, covers multiple positions and kicks goals. He doesn't grab headlines, but he doesn't lose you games either. Shibasaki's career turnaround has been one of the most underrated stories of the year. After being written off at Newcastle, South and the Cowboys, he's back at Brisbane and playing like a man possessed. His defence has been strong, his carries have been solid, and he brings that second chance hunger. The bloke even made his Origin debut this year off of his efforts. The verdict here though, Meaney is more polished and proven. Shibasaki has the grit and redemption to fire. Let's move to the other wing. Xavier Coates versus Mariner. Coates is the prototype modern winger. Tall, strong, Origin regular, and dangerous in the air. He's played on the stage before and he knows how to handle the pressure. Mariner is the breakout Bronco. He's been scoring tries for fun all year, breaking tackles and becoming one of the most dangerous edge players in the competition. The only thing he lacks is big game experience. The verdict on this is Coates brings finals pedigree, Mariner brings irresistible speed. This one's probably a smidge towards Coates though. 5/8, Cameron Munster versus Ben Hunt. This one is juicy. Munster is Melbourne's chaos merchant, cheeky, unpredictable, and made for big games. He doesn't just play footy, he plays theatre. He'll grubber for himself, throw a miracle pass, or strip the ball one-on-one just to flip momentum. Ben Hunt, returning to Brisbane, is storybook stuff. 10 years on from that 2015 Grand Final drop, he gets a chance at redemption in a Broncos jersey. Hunt isn't flashy, but he's tough as nails, defends his hard and guides the side around. His partnership with Reynolds has given Brisbane balance and control. The verdict is, Munster has the X factor, Hunt has the redemption storyline. This is a duel that could define the game. At halfback, Jerome Hughes versus Adam Reynolds. Hughes is one of the most dangerous running halves in the competition. He's elusive, smart, and his combination with Munster and Grant makes Melbourne's spine tick. When he runs, defence panic. He has come back from that shock-broken arm in record time. He will be targeted in defence, so if he stands up, he will be great. Reynolds is Brisbane's general. His kicking game, short and long, is unmatched. The only question is his hamstring. If he's 100%, he's one of the most important players on the field. Verdict, Hughes is dangerous, but Reynolds has the tools to control the game. Slight edge to Brisbane. At prop, we've got Big Stefano versus Corey Jensen. Stefano has been a revelation since joining Melbourne. He's a young, powerful prop who bends the line every time. He's still learning how to dominate consistently, but his upside is huge. Corey Jensen is the kind of player every team needs. Workhorse, reliable, and no frills. He doesn't have Stefano's explosiveness, but he gives Brisbane stable go forward and allows Haas to do the damage. Stefano has the highest ceiling here, but Jensen, the steady hand. At hooker, Harry Grant versus Corey Pace. This is the biggest mismatch on the park. Harry Grant is arguably the best hooker in the world. Lightning fast out of dummy half, sees the game 2 plays ahead, and has a motor that never stops. He's Melbourne's engine. Corey Pace has done a great job for Brisbane this year, but he's not in Grant's league. His service is tidy, his defence is willing, but he doesn't have that game-breaking spark. A clear edge here to Melbourne. Grant could win the game on his own if he gets on top. The other prop, Josh King versus Payne Haas. Josh King is tough as nails. A player who does the dirty work no one else wants to do. He tackles everything, runs hard, and sets the platform. But Payne Haas is in a different universe. He's the most dominant forward in the game. His meters, his post-contact, his offloads, he tilts the field every single week. He can't be contained for 80 minutes. This one's a clear lead to Broncos. In the second row, we've got Sean Bloor versus Brendan Piakura. Bloor has been brilliant this year. Finally healthy, he's aggressive in defence and runs great lines in attack. He brings energy and toughness to Melbourne's pack. Piakura, Brisbane's young strike weapon. He's fast, strong, and building a lethal partnership with Hunt and Mann. He has always showed promise, but in recent weeks, we are finally seeing it, and this could be his breakout on the biggest stage. Bloor is steady, but Piakura is explosive. Slight edge here to the Broncos. The other second row, Elise Katoa versus Jordan Ricky. Katoa is a monster. His running game is one of Melbourne's biggest strike weapons, and he's the kind of edge forward who could score tries when nothing looks on. Ricky, on the other hand, has come of age. Once inconsistent, he's now a leader in Brisbane's pack. He brings energy, mongrel, and never say die attitude. Very close one here, but Katoa is in irresistible form. At lock, Trent Liero versus Pat Carrigan. Liero is Melbourne's unsung hero. He tackles everything, runs himself into the ground, and plays with incredible discipline. He's not a star, but he makes his teammates better. Carrigan is Brisbane's heart and soul. He leads by example, Origin warrior, a Test star, and the emotional core of the Broncos team. When Brisbane needs inspiration, Carrigan provides it. Carrigan's got the mark here. He's the player most likely to drag Brisbane to a premiership. Now let's look at the benches. Melbourne first. Tyron Wishart, Bellamy's Mr. Utility. He can cover halves, hooker, even outside backs if needed. He's safe, and if given a sniff, can change the game. Siati, the least experienced of the four. He's been used in short bursts to bring size and energy. Raw, but very physical. Kamikamica, the veteran bruiser. Big body, high intensity, and has played in big finals before. He brings leadership into the rotation. And then there's Alex McDonald, Bellamy's classic workhorse off the bench. High energy, strong defensively, and plays his role with zero fuss. In summary, they're solid, dependable, but not game-breaking. The biggest asset is versatility. Wishart can slot in anywhere if there's an injury, and Kamikamica gives them grunt in the middle. But aside from Tui, there's not a lot of genuine X-factor here. Let's look at Broncos bench. Ezra Mam. And here's the biggest difference. Mam isn't just a utility, he's a superstar. Dropping a Dally M caliber 5'8" to the bench is a luxury. When he comes on against a tired defence, his speed and instinct can rip games apart. Kobe Hetherington, all heart and aggression. He's the spark plug forward, tackles hard, runs fearless, and never takes a backward step. He holds Brisbane together in the middle over the half-time period. Xavier Willison, a young giant, huge frame, athletic and capable of turning momentum with one carry. He's raw, but his energy makes him a handful. Has come back from a broken arm and is still in brilliant form. And finally, Tyson Smoothie, the ultimate utility, giving the Broncos steady service out of dummy half or as a running forward, and even cover the backs. He allows flexibility if there are injuries, but also adds some punch as a roving forward. The summary of the Broncos bench can be put this way. Man brings X factor, Hetherington and Willison bring energy, and Smoothie brings balance. Compared to Melbourne, it feels more dangerous. They don't just hold the line, they can actually swing the game. So the verdict here. Storm, experience, structure and versatility. Safe hands, but not a lot of game changes. Broncos, high energy, X factor and momentum shifters. Mam alone tips the scales here. In a grand final, benches decide the middle 30 minutes. On paper, the Storm bench keeps them steady, but Brisbane has the power to blow the game wide open. So there you have it, 1 through 17. Every head-to-head across the park. The Storm lean on the experience in their spine and structure. The Broncos lean on raw power, belief, and strike weapon. And somewhere in the middle of that, the grand final will be decided. What do you reckon, Bronx Nation? Who wins the matchups? And who will stand tall on grand final day? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with your mate who bleeds maroon and gold. This is the Old Skool Broncos Podcast. Let's go, Broncos.